Hello all, this is Mike Boggs, Striker System Sales Manager, and the feature that I want to touch on today, actually a couple of features, are some features within the tabbing capability of SS Punch. Now everybody's probably familiar with the tabbing functionality as a whole, so if I go into my part tabs capability, over here on the left side I have my manual or interactive tabbing where I can pick points and place tabs. And also on the right side I have my auto tab settings where I can set up how tabs are to be placed in an auto mode during auto punching. And of course this can be set up based on material type, thickness, etc. But what I want to show you is a couple of features that you may not be aware of. One is that when I go and punch something, whether I tab it manually or auto tab it, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to see exactly where the tabs are located, particularly if you get into a larger part. So if I punch this part, and we'll turn on the auto tab capability, and I do have my auto tabbing set up, then when I process, I know it's tabbed to this part, and I can zoom in and I can see exactly where it's placed tabs. But sometimes on the part as a whole, it's a little bit difficult to see exactly where they're all placed. So a function that was added here, a few versions ago, was an ability to go in and see those tabs very clearly. I can right click and go into my add tabs command, and we see on here the display delete markers. If I select that, we see that it drops a little arrow in that's pointing at each one of the tabs to make it very visible. So it's easy for me to quickly see exactly where those tabs are located. Now notice that I've got a delete tab markers, yes or no, and if I just hit enter on yes, then they'll just disappear, or if I said no, it will keep the tabs there, at least temporarily, while I go through whatever my next operation is. So I'm just going to hit enter and they'll disappear. Also, just to show you some of the effectiveness of this, if we punched multiple parts, again with auto tab turned on, this makes it quite a bit more difficult to see exactly where all those tabs are if I'm working at a sheet level with multiple parts on it. So there again, in my part tabs, display delete markers, and then it's much easier to take a quick look and see where those tabs are located on each part in case I need to go in and make any modifications to that. The next thing I'd like to show is the ability to go in and edit an edge that has tabs placed on it, a little trick that you may not be aware of. If I were to do a right click while hovering over the part, go into my add tabs, again that brings up our tab dialog. I can do my display delete markers. We see where the tabs are located, but let's say that I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs across the top plus this corner tab down here, but maybe that's I determined that that's too many. I actually need to reduce that a little bit. Well, how do I get rid of all of these tabs without repunching the part and then having to go back and retab everything? Well, there's a real quick, easy way. Some of you may be familiar with our replace edge command. So if I do a right click and I go to my replace edge hits, that allows me then to select another edge to reprocess that edge with that tool that I just selected. However, if I just select that same edge, it reprocesses that edge with the same tool, and in this case it's not auto tabbing on there. So if I were to look at my tabs again, they're gone. So I've completely removed the tabs off of this edge, other than down here. You see that because I did have a double tab, I now have a single tab on the edge because it reprocessed this one. However, I could quickly go in and say, alright, I want to manually add any tabs in here, and if I wanted to retab that corner, of course I could do that. Now if we were to display tabs again, we see that I now have those 3 tabs that are placed there. Again, so just that replace edge command, just reprocess the same edge, and it will allow you to very quickly process that edge without any tabs. If you need to go back and make any edits to it, manually tab a certain edge, That's a very effective feature. I hope you find that useful. If we can be of any assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you very much.